So, very good evening and welcome to the Buddhist Mahavihara Facebook page here at our Buddhist Mahavihara Dhammadana series. We are going live on Facebook, and this evening, at a Saturday evening, is something new to us because we have a very special guest with us this evening. He's a Bante from Sri Lanka. He's appearing on our show for the first time. But Bante has been here at Buddhist Mahavira a few times back in the early 2000s. This Bante is actually a radio personality and TV personality back in Sri Lanka, and his schedule is full. So the only time he was able to join us is today, which is a Saturday. So we have slotted in a special program just to fit him in. I would now like to invite Bante P. Panyasiri Thero to be with us. Good evening, Bante. Welcome to
Good,
Buddhist Mahavihara's Facebook page.
good evening. May the Ripaljan bless you, Mr. Leslie.
Good evening, Bante. So before we start, let me read Bante's profile to you. The most venerable Pulpiti Mukalani Panyasiri Thero is a popular Buddhist monk in Sri Lanka and also around the world as an eminent Dhamma preacher and Dhamma teacher. Bante obtained his first degree from the University of Peradeniya in Sri Lanka in 1997, majoring in sociology in the English medium. Then he followed a master's in sociology from the University of Colombo. He also has a master's of linguistics from the University of Kelaniya. He became an English instructor at the Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka in 1998, and then became a visiting lecturer at the Kelaniya University on Buddhist social philosophy. He also lectured on sociology and anthropology at the University of Sabaragamuwa in Sri Lanka. Bante delivers the Dhamma on television and radio in Sri Lanka regularly, and he has also traveled to various parts of the world preaching the Dhamma, including Malaysia. So, without much ado, I would now like to invite Bante to start this evening's Dhamma sharing entitled The Correct Way to Take the Three Refuges. Bante, please.
May the Ripaljan bless you. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajas Sunantu Saggamokkhadang Dhammasavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Dhammasavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta Dhammasavana Kalu Ayang Bhadanta. May all divine beings arrive here to listen to sublime Dhamma expounded by the fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Honor to the Supreme Buddha, the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one, the most venerable Tirinde Dhammaratana Nayak Thera of the chief incumbent of Buddhist Mahavihara and other residential monks, including Venerable Vinita, who especially invited me for this Dhamma talk. And also, I am thankful to Mr. Leslie, who is a longer friend of mine when I came to Malaysia earlier on in order to deliver Dhamma. And also, I am really know the fact that majority of devotees who are watching this program have seen me earlier on when I came to Malaysia, and they have listened to the Dhamma sermons, Dhamma talks given by me. Today is a very special day because online I am going to deliver a Dhamma sermon for this Buddhist Mahavihara, this program Dhamma series. And the topic that I am going to talk about is how to take refuge in the Triple Gem correctly. So then you may tend to think, without talking about some of the major and some deeper topics like Four Noble Truths, dependent origination, uh, Noble Eightfold Path, five aggregates of clinging, Nibbana. Why Venerable Polpiti Mokkallane Panyasiri Thero is talking about Triple Gem? Now you may tend to think. Now that is the major thing that I would emphasize here in this talk. Now when you study before going to university, you have to first and foremost study in the three grade level. Now you see, we call it either Montessori or kindergarten, whatever. You have to study there. Without getting that kind of general and fundamental knowledge, how to write letters and all that, you cannot go to university and obtain a degree. The very first thing is how to take refuge. How to take refuge. Then why this refuge? Three refuge. Why these three refuges? Why I am talking about three refuges rather than talking about other things? Because three refuges are very rare, unfathomable, unfathomable, immeasurable, and we can discern, we can see, we can encounter three refuges, for a long period of time, at a lapse of time, because first and foremost, we must, in the general sense, nominally, we must know what are the three refuges. Buddha, that means supremely enlightened one. Dhamma, the doctrine, that means what is delivered by, taught by the Supreme Buddha. Sangha, the followers of the Supreme Buddha who ordained, that is the dispensation. What is called community of Sangha. Therefore, meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends. First and foremost, in order to these three refuges to be established in the world, the first refuge must be there. What is the first refuge? The fully enlightened one. Fully enlightened ones appear in the world for a long period of time. Very rarely. Now you see, for 100 years, Yan means copper in Pali, copper. Only 7 Buddhas appear in the world. 7 Buddhas. According to Mahapadana discourse of Digha Nikaya, lengthy discourses. One may tend to think, oh, doesn't matter, at least 7 Buddhas have appeared within 700 years. Thinking that Yan may be a very short period of time. Dhamma friends, meritorious devotees, Yan is a very lengthy period of time, long period of time, immeasurable time. Even a Buddha cannot give exact time of an year. Once a bhikkhu asked from the Supreme Buddha, for Supreme Buddha, Venerable Sir, what is an year? What is an year? Then Supreme Buddha in Pabbata discourse, the discourse on rock, and what is called another discourse called Sasapa discourse on mustard seeds. Buddha explicated vividly about the length of this yen. According to what is called Pabbata discourse, meritorious devotees, it suppose there is a kind of rock which length is uh, 10 miles or 10 kilometers, breadth is 10 kilometers, height is 10 kilometers. And one person, after 100 years, climb onto this rock and take a piece of soft cloth, and he rubs it off, till the entire gamut of rock is uh, completely come to the earth level, surface earth level. Till then, an eon will be not over, according to Supreme Buddha's teaching. Now you can understand how long it takes for an eon to pass by. Therefore, for 100 years, only 7 Buddhas appeared in the world, namely Buddha Vipassi, the Supreme Buddha Sikhi, Supreme Buddha Vesabu, Supreme Buddha Kapusanda, Supreme Buddha Onagamana, Supreme Buddha Kashyapa, and Supreme Buddha Gautama, that is our Buddha. That is the reason why this gem, what is called this gem of Buddha, is very rare. When the gem of the Buddha appear in the world, he delivers Dhamma. Dhamma appears among all the valuable things in the world, even in the heaven, everywhere in the universe, the most valuable gems are triple gems. Now, have you understood this? Did you understand this? Have you understood earlier on, even though you call yourselves a Buddhist, so-called Buddhist, right? Now, the label is not essential, as Venerable Kirinde, our Dhammananda Ther earlier on mentioned. I can remember in his Dhamma talk, he mentioned Buddha was not a Buddhist, and the listeners were actually laughing when he was telling like that. Now, what is important is not this label, not that to call ourselves we are Buddhist, but we have to have refuge of the triple gem. Without having this refuge, we are destitute persons in the samsara. Now, now you can understand the length of this yen. How long we have been in the samsara? Buddha says, Anama taggoyam bhikkhave sansaro bubbhavoti napanyaya. For monks, I cannot explicate the length of this dangerous samsara. Then one monk asked, Oh Venerable, oh Supreme Buddha, can't you exactly mention a kind of example about the length of this samsara? Then Buddha mentions, can you count? Can you count up the sands of the river Ganges in India? Just like that, we cannot count up the uh, eons hitherto passed by. Then we have been in the samsara for that sort of time. Meritorious devotees, come, my friends. Some people tend to think this is the first time that we are born and this is the last. But we have been there in the samsara millions and trillions of time. And according to Supreme Buddha, much of time we have been there in the four hells. That means purgatory, papaya, and animal plane, ghost plane, and Asura world. Very rarely we come to this human world. Very rarely we come to heavenly world. Very rarely we come to Brahma world. So you understand this is a very rare occasion that we have come to this human world. This is a golden opportunity. And we have encountered triple gem, right? We have encountered triple gem. Even though you have encountered triple gem, even though followers have encountered triple gem, even though people have encountered triple gem, very, very few persons have got the opportunity to take refuge in the triple gem correctly. Correctly. Others are just nominal persons. They just utter the terms Buddham Saranam Gacchami. I go to the Buddha as my refuge. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. I go to the Dhamma as my refuge. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. I go to the Sangha as my refuge. They just utter. They just utter. They are parroting. Now that is not adequate. That is not adequate. We have to take refuge in the triple gem wholeheartedly. Now, we are innocent persons, as I mentioned, destitute persons. Refuge, only refuge for us to in the samsara is triple gem. According to Supreme Buddha, if one loves another, one has to introduce triple gem to that beloved one. Unfortunately, this doesn't take place. Even parents want their children to be rich people, and they want to see their, uh, you know, children powerful people and educated people, beautiful people, and people of capacity, and also they want to see their children holding various high-ranking positions in the society. And my daughter is so and so, my son is so and so, but they are not interested in. My son has taken refuge in the triple gem wholehearted. My daughter is taken has taken refuge in the triple gem wholeheartedly. My son and daughter, they are good upasakas. Now, if one takes refuge in the triple gem wholeheartedly, he becomes an upasaka. Upasaka. Now, these days, upasaka, the word upasaka, is used to people who just, entertain themselves and who just, especially follow various rituals, wrong views, but they call themselves upasaka. Therefore, we have to understand to be real upasaka, you have to actually sacrifice your life to triple gem. Sacrifice your life to triple gem. In front of death, you embrace death, without any fear, because if you have triple gem in your mind, this type of uh, upasikas, that means female followers, male followers were there at that time during the Buddha's period. Even today, a very few can be seen. But unfortunately, they are misguided by some responsible persons. I can remember when I visited various countries, including your country, some misguidance for you. What is the kind of misguidance that I saw? I witnessed. That is Dhamma friends, meritorious devotees. I have no idea how they have come to Malaysia. These type of misinterpretations, wrong guidelines. However, I am very happy about you. When after, the missionary work, the, the delivering Dhamma, the real teachings of the Buddha in Malaysia at that time, when I came back to Sri Lanka, I actually appreciated the devotees who are really interested in Dhamma. But later on my, in front of my eyes, I saw some astrologers, coming to Malaysia and introduce horoscopes and various wrong guidelines to our Chinese good devotees. Buddha denied these things. Now, if you read the discourse called Kevat, which is delivered to Brahmin Kevat in Digha Nikaya, lengthy discourses, you can see, you can see how Buddha has refused these wrong views. Buddha says they are animistic. Now, not only in your country, you started later, and in Sri Lanka, because of the influence of Kalinga Maga invasion from India, after 1,000 years of the advent of Arahat Mahinda introducing Buddhism to Sri Lanka, these wrong views, wrong guidelines came to Sri Lanka, still they are following. They follow those things rather than what Buddha said. I am not talking about almost every Buddhist. So they are unfortunately trapped to these wrong views. And you also are, according to my some observations, you are trapped. I don't know now you are, what is your position? I have not visited Malaysia recently. Why I am emphasizing this is, don't follow unnecessary wrong views. The most important thing is what Buddha said. What Buddha said. Not what Venerable Polpiti Mokkallane Panyasiri said. Or what another monk say. Not what they say. Most important thing is what Buddha says. Therefore, if a follower really preaching real Dhamma, he or she preaches quoting the real Dhamma expounded by the Supreme Buddha. Therefore, first and foremost, that teacher, that noble friend introduces who is the Buddha, what is the noble Dhamma, what is the noble Sangha, right? Now, I think to a great extent, or at least to a certain extent, you have understood what is the importance of triple J. Without this fundamental, or without this foundation, you cannot go forward in the journey of this Buddhist path. Unfortunately, majority wants to, continue their path without foundation. They want to build up the house, no foundation. Therefore, walls fell down. They fall down. That is what happened. Therefore, they cannot continue. No foundation. Therefore, later on, they tend to think, I am the person, I know the thing. Even the teachers tend to think, I am the person, I know the thing. But real follower, real student of the Buddha thinks the attitude is like this. Buddha is the teacher, I am the follower. Buddha knows everything, I know nothing. Now, that is the attitude. Do you have that attitude? If you have that attitude, you take Buddha as, correctly, you take refuge in the Buddha. If you have that attitude, you tend to, if you think, yes, Buddha has expounded, but according to my view, this should be like this, then you are not a follower of the Buddha. Then our people in Sri Lanka or in the world, then they come to another kind of, argument. Buddhism is not argumentative, not debatable. You know, Panyavan Tassayam Dhammo Nayam Dhammo Duppanyas. This Dhamma is only for the wise, not for the unwise. Therefore, Buddha says, now these unwise people have an argument. What is the argument? According to Kalama discourse, the discourse delivered to Kalama, Buddha has said, even though the Supreme Buddha himself has told like this, don't believe. Now there is a very, very wrong interpretation of Kalama discourse everywhere in the world. I have noticed it. That is the point where we go wrong. Buddha has never told such a thing in Kalama discourse. I can argue with anybody in the world. Buddha has not told like that. Buddha has never told, never expounded even a word, don't believe, even though what I deliver. In 18,000 discourses, meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends, Buddha has delivered at least 17,701 discourses, approximately. Therefore, we call approximately 18,000 discourses. Nowhere Buddha has said, don't believe even if I said. In Chula Gopalaka discourse, that means in Madhyama Nikaya, middle length discourses, first section, Buddha says, the latter part of the discourse, if you just check, Buddha says, I know this world, I know next world. I know about the death, I know about the deathlessness. I know about the evil one. I know what are the things evil one does not possess. Now, these are not exact words that I have used here. I know about the death and I know what is not possessed by the death. I know about this world, I know about the world next. I know about the evil one and I know what is not possessed by the evil one, that is Mara. If one believes what I, therefore, meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends, now that according to that discourse, what is called Chula Gopalaka discourse, Buddha directly expounds, directly says, you have to believe what I said. In Kalama discourse, there is a term. Now, what is that? What is the sentence that they have misinterpreted? That is, Ma Samanono Garu. They say, Ma Samanono Garu means Buddha. If the teacher says, don't believe. Here, teacher means not to the Supreme Buddha. Now, Buddha has never, called himself Samano. Samana, there are Samana. And also Buddha says himself Tathagata, Buddha, Bhagava, Samano Gautama, like that. Here, unfortunately, people and some of the religious leaders misinterpret, and it has been taken even Western society. This is free thinking. Therefore, even if the Buddha says, we should not believe. Why Buddha has taken such a pain for years and years of time by completing 10 perfections to attain enlightenment. Now, he has attained enlightenment to say, don't believe even if what I say. Now, if you are wise people, you can understand meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends. When we are actually doing some kind of noble thing or delivering Dhamma meritorious deeds and all that, there are some disturbances. But for entertainment, enjoyment, musical programs, parties, no problems as such. I think you all understand, you have to understand. So, therefore, can't help. We have to, under these circumstances, we have to continue like that. I have been explaining the how to take refuge in the triple gem in the correct way. And there I have mentioned various factors like rareness of triple gem and human birth, and also how how much time it takes for a supreme Buddha to be born in the world, and then sublime Dhamma appears. Later, noble Sangha appears. And also I mentioned some people, the followers, even though they tend to think that we are real followers, unfortunately, even they have not taken refuge. The reason is they have no confidence in the what is called omniscience of the Supreme Buddha. Omniscience means the kind of knowledge, the knowledge of the Supreme Buddha. That knowledge cannot be surpassed by anybody in the world. Humans, devas, brahmas, maras, nobody can, surpass. Nobody can surpass that knowledge. So if one believes in that, that means he believes in the Buddha. He has refuge. If one says, hell, heaven, all are on the earth, that means he doesn't believe Supreme Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So there are so many occasions our followers, unclean their refuge, unclean their refuge. Therefore, you must know how to protect your refuge, protect your refuge. In order to continue your refuge, you must know the qualities of the refuge. Who is the Buddha? Who is the Dhamma? Who is the Sangha? And who is the Buddha? What is Dhamma? And who are Sangha? When we just examine the discourses, Buddha, Supreme Buddha has, generally, Supreme Buddha has generally, expounded 9 qualities. 9 qualities of the Supreme Buddha. 6 qualities of the, sublime Dhamma. And 9 qualities of the noble Sangha. Now, do you know these qualities? What my experience in Sri Lankan context and most occasion in the world also, devotees can talk about some deeper topics like Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination, 4 noble truths, and 5 aggregates of clinging, noble eightfold path, karma, action, and vipaka. They can talk all these difficult topics, sometimes metaphysics, sometimes Abhidhamma also they talk. Unfortunately, they have no knowledge about 9 qualities of the Supreme Buddha. Now, I am just directly questioning you, my dear Dhamma friends. Can you directly, talk about, explain 9 qualities of the Supreme Buddha? You can recollect. Can you recollect? And do you know 6 qualities of the sublime Dhamma? And also, do you know 9 qualities of the noble Sangha? Without knowing, if you just parrot Buddhang, Dhammang, Sanghang, Saranang Gacchami, that is not adequate. That is why the followers tend to change their confidence, because they do not know who is the Buddha. Now, in this Dhamma sermon, Dhamma talk, I cannot explicate almost all the qualities of the Supreme Buddha. Now, Buddha has 10 powers, Tathagata Bala, and 4 Vesarajya Jnana, Visarada Jnana we call, and also 6 unfathomable knowledges, Iddhivida, Dibbasota, that means psychic powers, divine ear, divine eye, reading the thoughts of the others, reading the previous lives, and also Indriya Paro Paryatta Jnana, that means to know other person's capacity to comprehend the Dhamma. Only a Buddha possesses these knowledges. Nobody in the world possesses these knowledges. Buddha is called Arahant. Now, Buddha's knowledges or the qualities are mentioned in one stanza. Everybody knows, very popular. We generally worship the Buddha by, reciting this stanza. The unfortunate situation is, meaning is not known. In a nutshell, I will just explicate. Buddha is Arahant. He does not do evil even in secrecy. And also he deserves almost all the offerings from gods, humans, Brahmas, and everybody in the world. Therefore, he is Arahant. But this is in a nutshell, meritorious devotees. The one quality can be lengthily explained, hours and hours, days and days, months and months, years and years. There is an occasion where it is mentioned, even one Buddha cannot praise another Buddha's qualities for the time of an eon. Eon will pass by, but qualities of the Buddha will not be over. Now you can understand how much qualities are possessed by a fully enlightened one. So the disciple must know all these things. And he is Samma Sambuddha. He has comprehended 4 noble truths without any teacher. Vijjacharana Sampanna. He possesses the knowledges and jnana, and he lived accordingly. As I mentioned, psychic powers, divine ear, divine eye, and all sorts of knowledges. And also Sugata, he attained supreme Nibbana. Lokavidu, he is the knower of the world. He knew all the worlds and detached from them. Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarathi, he is the tamer, great tamer of all human beings, animals, and divine beings, and everybody in the world, without any weapon or any violent actions, only by employing psychic powers, patience, and those qualities. Now you know about murderer Angulimala and ferocious elephant Nalagiri, and also ferocious devil Halavaka, all were Buddha subdued by his noble qualities. Sattha Deva Manusana, that means Buddha is the great teacher of the entire world, not only for human world, but also for divine world. Buddha means he understood Four Noble Truths and directed others to understand these Four Noble Truths. Bhagava means he is the blessed one to bear all these qualities. Now, I just mentioned within a short period of time, in a nutshell, these 9 qualities of the Supreme Buddha. At least knowing these 9 qualities, we have to take refuge in the Supreme Buddha wholeheartedly. Not till the end of this life, but till the end of our samsara. This is the greatest teacher ever born to this world, greatest noble friend we have encountered. This is the golden opportunity. You never miss this opportunity. And you are fortunate to be born in a country where you can take refuge in the Triple Gem wholeheartedly. In a world where even a Buddha statue or Buddha picture of a Buddha cannot be placed, cannot be kept, but you in Malaysia, you have the opportunity to worship the Supreme Buddha. There are so many Buddhist monks and Buddhist Mahavihara now doing a great service. Venerable Kirinde Dhammananda Mahathera started this dissemination of Supreme Buddha's Dhamma. Now the now prelate, now Nayaka Thera, continuing it with the society, and we are appreciating. We really appreciate these things, and you are fortunate. You have merits to, participate in these programs and get the benefit of this. So get ultimate benefit. This will not be heard in the world for a longer time, the Supreme Buddha's Dhamma. So what is Dhamma? Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammu. The Supreme Buddha's Dhamma is well expounded. Middle is good. Beginning is good, middle is good, end is good. Sanditthika. Within this life, we can gain results. Akalika, timeless in getting results. Ehipassika. Anybody can come and see the authenticity of the Dhamma. Nobody can deny the truthfulness of the Dhamma. For example, nobody can challenge. There are no 3 signata in the world. Anicca, impermanence, suffering, dukkha or unsatisfactoriness. Anatta, soullessness or unsubstantiality. These are, discernible in the world. Nobody can challenge. Now, coronavirus. Now, the people could not be healthy all the time. Earlier on, there was heinous disease. Even now it is available. The AIDS. Then came another type of diseases. Now, corona. How many people had to die? Still the problem is not over. Even you are suffering. So why? Because of the nature of the world expounded by the Buddha. What is the nature of the world? Anicca, impermanence. So health is not permanent. It also changes. And Buddha mentioned there are 4 characters in the world: birth, and that is jati, then decay, jara, then vyadi, sickness. We cannot escape from that, and marana, death. Nobody can challenge Buddha's teaching. They are authentic. That is why majority of Westerners and Europeans wanted to follow Supreme Buddha's teachings. Then Opanayika. Opanayika means the Buddha's teachings can be understood by comparing it with yourself. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Now you can compare it with yourself. Now, for example, at that time you had in your younger period lot of strength. Now you are maybe weak. Young days your hair was black, now gray. So like that, there are so many things. Now they have been changed. They have changed because of this nature. Meritorious devotees, there is no religion in the world. These characteristics are explicated. 3 signata, and these 3 characteristics, 4 characteristics, especially 4 noble truths, noble eightfold path, and also meritorious devotees, Pacchattam veditabbo vinyuhi. This Dhamma can be comprehended only by the wise. Unwise people cannot do it. Now I explicated in a nutshell. Having known these qualities, you have to take refuge in the Dhamma wholeheartedly. Then Sangha. What are Sangha? People have majority does not possess, real meanings about the Sangha. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangha. The disciples of the Supreme Buddha follows the path to end lust, hatred, and delusion. Then Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangha. In Sri Lankan context, Ujupatipanna is wrongly interpreted. They tend to think if there is a kind of problem in the society, crisis, Buddhist monks come forward. Sometimes they have encounters with police and all that. They tend to think, this is what is called Ujupatipanna, upright mood of the bhikkhus. No, that is not what is called Ujupatipanna. Ujupatipanna means bhikkhus, the disciples, follow direct way to Nibbana. That is Ujupatipanna. Then Nyaya Patipanna. That means they only, they want to follow what is called 4 noble truths for the attainment of Nibbana. Nyaya Patipanna. That is directly directed towards emancipation. Nyaya Patipanna. Samichi Patipanna. They only or exclusively talks of what is necessary for the attainment of Nibbana. 10 factors are talked about. 32 factors are 32 factors are neglected by them, which are not essential for the emancipation. They talk about loneliness and what is important for the Nibbana, especially following Dhamma, how to practice Dhamma, things like that. Now there are various, at least almost all the factors are there. I just mentioned, and also Buddha's disciples. Yadidan Chattari Purusayugani. That means there are 4 pairs, 8 persons. That means Sovan, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arihat, the ones who have attained those stages and those who are trying to attain those stages. So for those type of disciples, laity can ahuneya, offer alms and all that by going to distant places when they live in distant places. Pahuneya. Pahuneya means when they visit your places, you can offer things. Dakhineya. With the view to attain Nibbana, you can offer things. Anjali Karaniya. You can worship them accurately. Anuttaram Punyakettam Lokassa. This is the meritorious field for you to do merits. I think in that sense, I mean, having known these things, majority of our devotees offer dana to Mahasangha. Even in Malaysia, I have participated in. You are generous persons. You accumulate merits. Our Sri Lankan Buddhist devotees, they also always offer dana to Mahasangha, including Buddha Puja, that means to the Supreme Buddha. So I think at least having known these 24 qualities, you have to take refuge in the triple gem wholeheartedly. You must not unclean your refuge. Yekechi buddhang saranang gatase nate gamissanti apaya. If one take refuge in the Supreme Buddha, that one doesn't go to the hell. That means he then takes refuge in the Dhamma, takes refuge in the Sangha. Pahaya manusam deha. When he is dead, then he will be reborn in a pleasurable plane, where there are developed gods, divine beings who have attained certain stages of so on and all that. Some people tend to say, why do we go to heaven? We have to attain Nibbana within this life. That is correct. The first and foremost, what we have to do is that. But fail in that, our second step should be to be born in a pleasurable plane. Therefore, first and foremost, we have to have our protection. Our protection, meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends, our protection is only from taking refuge in the triple gem wholeheartedly. Therefore, today, with some technical problems, I have tried to explain to a certain extent how to take refuge in the triple gem in the correct way, why we should do so, what is the important thing that you cannot go for. If you don't have, triple gem, meritorious devotees, this triple gem, that foundation, you cannot generally continue your journey to Nibbana. Therefore, I want to now conclude my Dhamma talk. There are some clarifications we can, continue. And also I am thankful, especially I thankful to Venerable Vinita for inviting me for Dhamma talk, and also Mr. Leslie, the president of this Buddhist Mahavihara, this Dhamma Sermon Society. And also, especially technically, I was supported by one of my friends in Sri Lanka, Mr. Chaminda. So I am thankful to them. And at the end, we can, on the whole, we can transfer merits. May the noble triple gem bless with you all.
This question is also quite important. When and how is the correct time to take 3 refuges? This is because we have become to tell or utter Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhamman Saranang Gacchami, Sangham Saranang Gacchami. That is why we tend to ask what is the proper time to take refuges. Actually, the question should be what is the proper time to worship the Buddha, not what is the proper time to take 3 refuges. 3 refuges should be there with all the time in our heart. In our heart. That is till our death. After death also we must fully dedicated, fully sacrifice our life to Supreme Buddha, Sublime Dhamma, Noble Sangha. Therefore, there is no time to tell this is the time to take refuge. Generally, we worship. In worshipping, we say what is called Buddhan Saranang Gacchami, Dhamman Saranang Gacchami, Sangham Saranang Gacchami. So, early morning and in the evening before sleep, we can generally, worship the Buddha reciting those things. But 3 refuges are not for recitation, that you have to remember. It is all the time in our heart. All the time in our heart. Sometimes there were occasions before the birth of the baby, the mother has taken refuge in the Triple Gem on behalf of the baby. Once Upasika, a female follower, went to see the Buddha with the baby and told the Buddha, "O Supreme Buddha, this baby took refuge in the Triple Gem when he was in my womb, because I dedicated, sacrificed my baby to you, the Dhamma and Sangha. Therefore, when you take refuge in the Triple Gem, that is forever. That is forever. But worshipping, at worship time, we utter the stanza, just stanza type. We say Buddhan Saranang Gacchami, Dhamman Saranang Gacchami, Sangham Saranang Gacchami. That you can do before go to work, in the morning, in the evening, before go to sleep, like that. But all the time, you must be with the Triple Gem. With the Triple Gem. That is the correct answer for that. Yeah. Now, there is what is called, now this question is, Bhante, you had mentioned that there were 7 Buddhas, but we were taught about 28 Buddhas. There is also 28 Buddhas puja. So, which is correct? Now, Supreme, in the discourses, 18,000 discourses, according to Mahapadana discourse, Buddha has mentioned 7 Buddhas within 100 years. But before that, there have been Buddhas. Those things have come into being in terms of some of the Buddhist history or Buddhist books written by some of scholars and all that. But we don't know what is the foundation of that. But we have no knowledge to refuse them also. Therefore, not only 28 Buddhas, numerous Buddhas have appeared in the world. But the Gautama Buddha has mentioned in this discourse only about 7 Buddhas. Therefore, 28 Buddha Puja is good thing because we do the puja for the Buddha. Even sometimes in Sri Lanka, I have seen 5 lakhs 12,000 for 5 lakhs 12,000 Buddhas, they conduct Buddha pujas. But we have to say good because all the pujas for in the name of Buddhas, in the name of Buddhas. Therefore, we should not want to think whether this 28 is correct or 7 is correct and all that. Our Buddha has mentioned about 7 Buddhas within 100 years. It doesn't indicate there have not been Supreme Buddhas previously. Therefore, we have to directly accept there have been various Buddhas in the world.
Now, another question is, who are Upasaka Upasikas? Then what about people who are known as Acharya, right? Now, Upasaka Upasika, according to Supreme Buddha, those who take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha are called Upasaka. So, male is called Upasaka, female is called Upasaka. Those who have taken refuge in the Triple J. Acharya are teachers. That means who direct them to follow the Dhamma. In the present day context, there are various acharyas. In Buddhism or Buddha's dispensation, there are no so-called acharyas because only one acharya, that is the Supreme Buddha. All the others are disciples. But when it comes to temple life, there is a acharya under whom there are other monks. But present day, there are various meditation acharyas, various acharyas. Therefore, we must not go by those so-called acharyas. According to the Supreme Buddha, our great acharya, great teacher, great noble teacher is the Supreme Buddha. So acharya are later on in a certain temple, there is a leading monk, just like now chief incumbent of Buddhist Vihara is the acharya of other disciple monks in the temple. Now that is later kind of recognition, and it is not disagree with Buddha's dispensation. Buddha himself has expounded about Antevasika, and Antevasika means who the disciple, and then Acharya. Acharya is the teacher. So that type of in that level also there is Acharya. In the higher level, Acharya is the Supreme Buddha. Later on, we have in the temple level Acharya, our high priest, like that. Those who have taken refuge in the Triple Gem wholeheartedly as a male is called Upasaka, and female is called Upasika. Okay.
Thank you, Bante. I think today's Dhamma sharing has been very challenging for us, both for you as well for us here listening to you. As you mentioned, sometimes good things we have to wait for, and some not so good things comes easily. So I think today is really a
Yeah,
challenge for both of you and us listening to you. So we have come to the end of tonight's Dhamma sharing. So before we end, we would like Bante to actually conduct the Anumodana, the transference of merits to the Devas as well as to all the departed beings. And it's also to our sponsor this evening. Thank you.
Okay. Especially, I think I am very, first of all, today I have to thankful to the listeners, especially devotees who were watching, without any, without getting hurt of the disturbances. Now, this is the situation. This actually gave us a new experience because when we get freely Dhamma, cheaply, we don't mind. I mean, we don't take it expensive. But there will be times today, actually, with disturbances and all that, by being in Sri Lanka, by living in Malaysia, you could listen to Dhamma, sublime Dhamma, real Dhamma. But there will be occasions Dhamma will vanish from the world. Now, therefore, you can be happy still under certain difficult circumstances. We can listen to Dhamma. However, still Dhamma is available in the world. You get ultimate benefit from it. And also, I am first and foremost, I am thankful to Venerable our Nayaka Thera, most Venerable Kirinde Dhammaratana Nayaka Thera of the High Priest of Buddhist Mahavihara of Malaysia. He was very hospitable to me when I came to Malaysia, I can remember. And also Venerable Siridhamma Thera also I remember, because he is the one who invited me at that time for the first time. And this time I am thankful to Venerable Vinita Thera. He invited me to come on this Dhamma series. And Mr. Tilak Leslie, now he is really interested in and also very enthusiastic in this program, and especially making this a realization for you all, and being the president, new president, and he was one of my friends from a longer period of time, so I am thankful to him too. And also all the especially devotees who listen to, who watch my Dhamma sermon, and also who watch our Dhamma sermons at that time. And Mr. One of my noble friends in Sri Lanka, Mr. Chaminda, who helped me to make this make this a success. And we have listened to Sublime Dhamma. Dhamma is the greatest thing. Delivering Dhamma, we can achieve a lot of merits. Therefore, let's transfer the merits that we have accumulated to divine beings, including God Sakra and other divine beings who protect us, and especially who help us to spread Dhamma to the world, and who help you all to practice Dhamma. And may all divine beings protect us, and may all of them attain and comprehend the Four Noble Truths within the shorter period of time. And also the sponsorship is a very great thing for this type of Pinkama, a great Pinkama. On behalf of the late Miss Mallika Pereira, this Pinkama has been done. Therefore, may she share these merits accumulated by us, and may she comprehend the Four Noble Truths within the regime of Gautama Buddha Sasana. And may all other departed relatives, including all devotees accrue these merits, and they all attain Nibbana within the regime of Gautama Buddha Sasana. And having listened to this Dhamma sermon, may all of us may be able to comprehend Four Noble Truths within the Gautama Buddha Sasana. May the Noble Triple Gem bless with you all. Namo Buddhaya.